Hello, Westford. The Board of Health voted to support two special town meeting articles that would prohibit the sale of recreational marijuana. We tell you about an upcoming event to raise awareness of domestic violence, and we bring you a cooking lesson from the Rangoli Grill. I'm Ira Keltz, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to stay up to date with everything Westford by subscribing to our free online daily news publication. Visit westfordcatnews.org/newsletter to sign up. And if your civic or charitable organization has an event coming up, send your announcement to news@westfordcat.org. And now, the news. The Board of Health voted 4-1 on October 2nd to support two articles on the upcoming Special Town Meeting Warrant that would prohibit the sale of recreational marijuana in Westford. The articles seek to amend a general bylaw and a zoning bylaw. Massachusetts voters legalized the use of recreational marijuana back in 2016. The law was modified this summer, allowing possession of 10 ounces inside a primary residence and 1 ounce outside. Board of Health members made their decision after listening to a presentation by resident Michael King, representing the Mass Family Institute, a conservative pro-life group.
I am Michael King from Massachusetts Family Institute, and we've been working with towns and cities across Massachusetts to help them understand this new law that the state passed back the first week of August. And there are some interesting things about the new law. One of which is the 91 towns and cities out of the 351 that voted against recreational marijuana back in the fall of 2016, Westford being one of them, does not have to go through a public referendum or a vote of the voters, if you will. They still need to go, as you know, through a general and zoning bylaw at town meeting, but the state looks at what happened in the fall of 2016 as the vote from the town of Westford. So very encouraging in that regard that the town of Westford has already voted. And we find, like in the town of Westboro, which was the first town to opt out, we find that towns that voted no in the fall of 2016 have about an 80-20 vote if they do take a vote of the voters. So just something to keep in mind. I think we find a lot of people actually had buyer's remorse, if you will, when they voted back in the fall, those that voted for question 4, because many people thought they were voting for medical marijuana, and they didn't realize that they were inviting an entire industry, $1 billion industry, into their town.
Board of Health Chairman Zach Cataldo was the sole dissenting vote. You can watch the entire meeting at westfordcat.org. In the aftermath of a recent forum on the opioid epidemic, WestfordCAT connected with Dawn Trask of Westford, whose son Tyler Colleton died at 21 in February 2016 from a fentanyl overdose. Colleton attended Neshoba Valley Technical High School. He played sports and was a Boy Scout, his mother said, before getting addicted to Percocet, a pain medication composed of acetaminophen and oxycodone. The entire story by news director Joyce Polino Crane can be found at westfordcatnews.org.
The parents are last to know everything. And I will say this to the community, to anyone out there, to people I work with that have an addiction, that I'm working with families with. They're living in your home. You have a right to toss their rooms. You have a right to go into spaces that they want to keep a secret, and they don't want these drugs to be found. They don't want you to know they have an addiction. They will hide it at all costs. Their friends will hide it for them. If one of Tyler's friends had come to me and at least said, listen, I'm worried about Tyler. There's a concern about Tyler. Something's wrong. I knew he had depression, I knew he was drinking. I knew he was using marijuana. I knew his grades were slipping. But I thought it was depression, and I had him in counseling. And it didn't do any good because he was addicted.
You did everything you could for your
I
your
can't
son.
go, and I say to a lot of parents, you can't go, well, what if, or what if I did something differently, or if I had stopped something, or if I did something in another way. The what ifs,
They're not healthy.
you can't go back to
No.
what ifs. It's
No.
not your fault that your son or daughter has an addiction. This is a mental health illness. It's a disease.
The forum was sponsored by the Westford League of Women Voters and can be found on our website, westfordcat.org. And now, our feature of the week. Ben Atherton Zeman was at the Nab Lake Country Club recently, where we caught up with him as he prepared for his performance on domestic violence awareness. Atherton Zeman is an international public speaker on violence prevention and gender-based violence. His one-man play, Voices of Men, mixes humor with celebrity male voices to deliver a powerful message about domestic violence.
So I wrote the play as a comedy to get past some of that audience defensiveness, to get past some of that initial victim blaming, so that audiences would really learn the truth about what domestic violence is, what gender-based violence is, and instead of getting defensive would hopefully try to figure out how they could help make a difference in ending it.
And here's public health nurse Gail Johnson providing an overview of the event. Johnson oversees the town's Westford Coalition for Nonviolence, which is organizing the fundraiser.
So the logistics of it all would be that people come at 5:30. We're going to have appetizers, and we're going to have people sit and enjoy a wonderful evening with two speakers, one from the Alternative House, Maria Crooker, and also Joni Martian from the Live for Limb Foundation. And then we'll have Ben come and speak and do his presentation.
The Light Up the Night event takes place Saturday, October 14th at 5:30 p.m. at the Nab Lake Country Club. Contact the town's health department for ticket information. Pat Savage, the town's Director of Parks and Recreation, is retiring October 13th after almost 16 years. News Director Joyce Polino Crane stole a few minutes with Savage during her retirement party at the Millworks in Forge Village on October 4th.
So part of coming here was the town manager was interested in having an enterprise fund. So for the first few years it was building up programs so that we had revenues. We then first thing we ended up doing was adding the after-school enrichment program, working in collaboration with the schools. It's a huge program. We started in one school, now we're in all the elementary schools and have a program for the middle schools. Then we moved from there to 35 Town Farm Road, and I also had to work with the sports groups to get them to pay for field maintenance. That was another charge given from the Board of Selectmen to the then town manager. And then from 35, we went to 39 for temporary location, and now we're here at 22 Town Farm Road. Biggest change is an increase in the number of programs and increase in staff. You know, we provide jobs for over 200 kids every year and service, you know, quite a bit of the families here, and with our after-school program and our summer programs as well. So, and it's nice to have this space here because we actually now have some program space where we have our indoor crew program and all our other programs when we bring things in. So, it's been quite a change.
WestfordCAT wishes Savage a fond farewell. We caught up with Town Manager Jodi Ross at Pat Savage's retirement luncheon for a preview of the warrant for Special Town Meeting on Monday, October 16th. The meeting will open at 7:30 p.m. at the Abbott School, 25 Depot Street, and a quorum of 200 people is needed.
Hi, I'm Jodi Ross, Town Manager, and as you know, we have a special town meeting coming up on October 16th, 7:30 p.m. at the Abbott Gymnasium. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going to be on that warrant. We've got some unpaid bills that we have to pay, and they're from last fiscal year. Most are related to net metering, which is one of our programs to reduce our energy costs in town. Then we have a few budget transfers. We've got a need to have a full-time assistant building commissioner in the building permitting office. So we have an article to transfer some money to take care of that. And we're also looking at giving the veterans agent about 4 hours a week of admin help because he has claims that he's trying to process. So we're asking for your supplement on that. Couple of other items is the Board of Selectmen really want me to continue the strategic planning retreat, and I had taken that out of the budget last year due to a little budget crunch we had, but they've asked me to put it back in, and we have some extra money in the town clerk's expense account, so we're going to move that into Selectmen to pay for the strategic planning retreat many of you go to every year. We have 4 capital requests. One would be for a fire prevention officer vehicle. We have an old 2006, I believe, that has died, and so fixing it is not an option. We're also looking for some radio repeaters for emergency management. The Westford Public Schools is looking for a design bid document or to hire a designer to work on the Westford Academy track. And then finally, a dump body of a highway truck is in sore need of replacement, so we will be asking you to support that. We've got a couple of positions we'll be talking about on town meeting floor. One is the deputy police chief. It is currently a union position and the deputy is retiring, so I am seeking to take that out of the union and make that a non-union personnel. And the Personnel Advisory Committee rated that last night, and that will be on the warrant for your consideration. Our Recreation Director, Pat Savage, is retiring. That's the party behind me you can see today. And we are going to take away the grounds from that position in cemetery and just be hiring a rec director. So we are lowering that band by one level. There is a public health nurse discussion that may be occurring, and we'll see what happens with that. Got some revolving account changes for this year. We, of course, balance our budget at the October meeting. Some of the other interesting things, if you remember, if you were at the annual town meeting, we had a senior tax and disability and low income committee formed, and they are recommending an increased exemption for people that fall into those categories. And then our veterans agent is looking as to whether we would fund the balance between a salary if you're in the National Guard and what the town pays your salary when you're on active duty. So we'll be talking about that. We have 3 marijuana articles. One would be to prohibit anything to do with recreational marijuana sale in our town, cultivation, production for recreation, not medical. And another would be a zoning bylaw to go along with that. If those 2 fail, we will be seeking you to agree to a moratorium to give us more time to figure out the next steps in the town. Couple other planning board. One is to allow multi-uses on parcels. Another is about solar systems or the solar panels that you see on the ground in some towns. It will be to talk about site plan review on those. And finally, the Tax Possession Sale Committee is looking to transfer a small parcel to the Conservation Commission. So stay tuned. The League of Women Voters will be putting on another show with Bob Price and some of us to review the warrant. And we hope to see you at town meeting on October 16th, 7:30 at Abbott Gymnasium. Thank you so much.
The warrant review of Special Town Meeting, sponsored by the Westford League of Women Voters, will be telecast on our public and government channels throughout the week and can be viewed online at WestfordCAT.org. Rika Sharma brings you this week's health tip.
Hi everyone, I'm Rika Sharma, back with the new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Ayurveda is a 5,000 years old traditional system of healing from India, helping you heal naturally. Today I'm going to talk about bottle gourd or lauki. It is excellent cleanser for spring and summer season. It helps to balance the water and fire component of the body. It reduces acidity and regulates digestive fire. It also reduces inflammation in joints, improves overall strength and vitality of the body. It also reduces burning sensation in head and eyes. Its calming effects helps to improve the skin luster and reduces acne and blemishes. and it also helps to reduce anxiety, anorexia, and promotes better sleep. Bottle gourd can be added to your juices, soups, and salads to get the benefits. If you have any other allergies, please contact your PCP before consuming. I'll be back with a new health tip. Bye for now.
We've had beautiful autumn days so far this week. Let's see what's in store for the next few days. Here's our own Giuseppe.
Hello, Westford. This is Giuseppe with a weather forecast for Columbus Day weekend, week of October 9th. We will have mild temperatures along with clouds and occasional rain showers through the long weekend. Sunny skies will return towards the middle of the week. Here's what's coming up. That was it for weather. Have a great week, everyone.
This month, for our Back of the House feature, we bring you a cooking demonstration from the Rangoli Grill.
Yes, there are healthy and delicious fast food alternatives, and you can find one of them right here in Westford at Rangoli Grill. Located in Cornerstone Square, Rangoli Grill has been serving up casual Indian dining since 2013. Gulshan and Rashmi Kumar are chefs and owners of Rangoli Grill and have set a goal of offering a variety of healthy, flavorful, fast meals to take to go or to enjoy in their warm and friendly restaurant. Rashmi, who is also a Westford Academy English teacher, took us to the back of the house to show us how they make one of their most popular dishes, the chicken tikka marsala. Rashmi talked a bit about the history of the dish, how the spices used in Indian cooking are not only delicious, but also have many health benefits, and stressed how using yogurt instead of heavy cream in the sauce is what distinguishes Rangoli Grill's chicken tikka marsala from others. Gulshan and Rashmi illustrated how the chicken that is used in this popular dish is prepared.
All right, here's our marinated chicken on the skewers going into the tandoor. The tandoor, by the way, is a clay oven, and it provides one of the healthiest ways you can cook. And it gives a nice smoky flavor to the meat that comes out. And the chicken that you just saw was marinated in our own marinade. We make all our marinades from scratch. So this is our cooked chicken. This is the actual chicken tikka, the boneless marinated chicken that has been put in the tandoor, as you know, and it's coming out now, nicely cooked out of the tandoor.
Rangoli Grill is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and they're closed Sundays except for catering and private functions. They are located at 8 Cornerstone Square. To see Rashmi prepare the dish step by step, watch the entire Back of the House episode on demand at WestfordCAT.org. For Westford Cat, I'm Patty Stalker.
Rocco, a smart and talkative 2.5-year-old Nande Conure, is available for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's Patty Stalker with more information.
Sure, there's some wonderful cats and dogs and guinea pigs at the Lowell Humane Society, but you may want to consider adopting this smart and talkative fella named Rocco. Here's Marketing and Fundraising Manager Crystal Arnott with more.
Hi, I'm Crystal Arnott from the Lowell Humane Society, and this is Rocco. Rocco is a 2.5-year-old Nande conure, and he was surrendered to our shelter with several other birds when a family had to move to Florida, and they felt like it would be too stressful of a trip, so surrendered them here instead. Rocco is a very smart and social bird. Like most conures, he is talkative when he gets to know you. His favorite thing to say is, "What are you doing?" But he hasn't shown us that yet. He's still a little shy with us. Once he gets to know you and he's comfortable with you, he will step up on your hand, He's been with us only a short time, just less than a week, so he hasn't bonded that closely with us yet. But I think that if someone puts in the time and effort with him, he will be a very sweet boy. He was very nice with his prior owners. Occasional nips here and there, as most conures will do, but if you learn their body language and communicate well with them, you can usually keep yourself safe from anything like that. Non-day conures will live 20 plus years in captivity, so it's really important if you're going to take on a pet like this that you plan for the future and that you know what you're going to be doing for the next 20 years or so, and that your lifestyle will fit having a bird in your home, because it's incredibly stressful for any animal to be placed, bounced around from home to home. But birds in particular are quite sensitive, and you'll often see them develop major behavior issues when they're bounced around so often.
If you'd like to learn more about Rocco or any of the other pets available now for adoption, or to find out how to donate, volunteer, foster a pet, or fill their wish list, go to lowellhumanesociety.org or visit them at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. Call 978-452-7781. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
Here's our Marketing Outreach Director, Sarah Fletcher, with suggestions for things to do this week around town.
Thanks, Ira. If you're a teen with an interest in music, performing, being a sound technician, or just hanging out with your friends, the Westford Teen Arts Council is the place for you. The group, which produces open mic shows, primarily for performers in grades 8 through 12, is holding its season opener on Friday, October 13th from 7 to 10 p.m. right here at the Parish Center for the Arts. This student-run organization embraces music of all types, from jazz to classical, and that includes poetry. Admission is $5 per person. Take a bus ride with town historian Ellen Hardy on Saturday, October 14th at 1 p.m. for a tour of Westford. The hour-and-a-half ride will show you conservation and recreational spots and provide an overview of the town's transformation from farmland to mill town to Boston suburb. Hardy has lived in Westford for 50 years and co-authored the League of Women Voters slide presentation and book, Westford, A Sense of Community. The event is offered through the Rodenbush Community Center. Tickets are $7 for members, $5 for students, and $10 for non-members. Visit rodenbush.org to register and meet at 73 Main Street. Also on Saturday, October 14th, is the 20th Annual Graniteville Pride Spaghetti Supper at the Franco from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $6 for adults and $4 for children. Bring a dessert, craft, non-perishable food item for the Westford Food Pantry and RSVP to Diane Healy at 978-692-2137. The group's annual meeting will immediately follow. Back to you, Ira.
And that's it for now, Westford. We leave you with images of the retirement party for Pat Savage, outgoing Director of Parks and Recreation. We'll see you next week.